Not quite ready to give up on the internal combustion engine yet? Then stay tuned. While most car companies are racing to get hybrids and electric vehicles to market, one company hasn't given up on the internal combustion engine quite yet. Its lofty goal: create the ideal internal combustion engine. That company is Mazda, and what they achieved will make a lot of internal combustion fans like me very happy. Mazda has developed a new engine that combines the best of a traditional gas engine with the best of a diesel engine. The result is Skyactiv-X, which is quite possibly the most eco-friendly internal combustion engine ever made. Top Gear said that this could well be the most advanced petrol engine this side of the new Ferrari V8. This new engine is the result of a path Mazda started taking back in 2014. Their thinking was that while electric vehicles may be the future of cars, internal combustion engines aren't going anywhere real soon. So they look for low-hanging fruit. This idea is to set goals that are easier to achieve and which will give faster results. So instead of climbing really high to reach the apples at the very top of the tree, they looked for apples that were hanging closer to the ground and therefore easier to reach. In this case, the apples at the top of the tree represent vehicles with better fuel emissions, like electric cars. These apples might seem bigger and juicier, but they're also much harder to reach and will take a lot longer to pick. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the tree are the apples which represent more efficient gasoline cars. Maybe these apples aren't as big, but they're a lot easier to reach, and if you collect enough of them, you can have a big impact. So how did all of this start? Well, back in 2007, car companies were under pressure to increase their global fuel economy. Mazda set a goal of 30% increase by 2015. Then they considered all the ways they could achieve this goal. Scenario 1, they could make hybrids. But this would mean they would have to make hybrids with 50% fewer emissions than their gasoline cars. It also means that in 8 years, half of the cars they would sell would have to be hybrids. Not likely. Scenario 2, they could make electric vehicles. Say EV cars had no emission for the purpose of this example. This meant they would have to develop an EV car within 8 years that a quarter of the cars they were selling would need to be EV cars. Both of these scenarios were unlikely, so they chose a third scenario. Start with the idea of the ideal combustion engine. What a great idea! Let's make the perfect internal combustion engine before we give up on it. And maybe you won't even have to give up on it. Anyway, just my thoughts. Let's get back to Mazda. They called the project Skyactiv, which is derived from a Japanese phrase meaning, the sky's the limit. They set a bunch of smaller goals on their path to the ideal engine. These included improving gasoline engines by 15%, diesel engines by 20%, and reducing the weight of all the vehicles. When you add these all together, improving the efficiency of gasoline cars could have a big impact. It did, and now they have the results to prove it. Skyactiv-X technology results in 30% lower emissions. And importantly, it does this without sacrificing performance. Let's take a look at how the Skyactiv-X engine works. To do this, we'll look at the basic operation of traditional gas and diesel engines. Then we'll see how Skyactiv-X combines the best of both to get better performance. In a traditional gasoline engine, air is pulled into the combustion chamber. A fine spray of fuel is injected and the mixture is compressed within the chamber and ignited by a spark. Diesel engines are called compression ignition systems because they don't use a spark. Instead, the air inside the chamber is compressed at much higher ratios, causing more heat and pressure. The fuel is added right at the end of the compression cycle, and then boom, it spontaneously ignites. Because the air is so compressed, it takes less fuel to make the boom. This is why the diesel gives you better fuel economy. So why not just use gasoline in a compression ignition engine? Wouldn't this give you the economy of a diesel with the performance of a gas car? Unfortunately, gasoline is more volatile than diesel. So if you compress it the same as diesel, it combusts before compression is complete. So how did Skyactiv-X solve these challenges? Well, you start with a fuel-air mix that's so lean that even when it's highly compressed, it doesn't ignite. Then you add a small, dense amount of fuel near the spark plug just as it fires. This doesn't actually start combustion because the air-fuel mix is too low. But what it does is raise the temperature and pressure inside the chamber. the pressure becomes so high that compression ignition occurs exactly the same way that it happens in a diesel engine. The result is more power with better fuel efficiency. Skyactiv-X gives the engine the low-end torque of a diesel engine without losing the high horsepower of a standard gasoline engine. This new technology is called Spark Controlled Compression Ignition, SCCI. Engineers have been trying to invent the gasoline compression ignition engine for many years. Compression ignition technology has existed almost as long as spark ignition technology. Let's take a look back to see how these two technologies were developed closely together and then existed side by side as competitors for so long. If you really want to trace the origin of the engine, you'd have to go back to 200 BC, when the earliest hand-operated cranks appeared in China during the Han Dynasty. They also had the wheel back then. We know that since they left a bunch of drawings of men pushing wheelbarrows. Actually, the wheel had already been around for a very, very, very long time. It was invented in ancient Mesopotamia over 5,000 years ago. But those guys really didn't know how to have fun. What do you think they did with the wheel? The one cool thing they'd invented? They used it to make pottery. Yeah, a pottery wheel. It was another 300 years before someone figured you could use it for a chariot. About time, I'd say. But then again, in North America, they used the circle as a calendar, and they never even invented wheels. So they're a little bit behind them too. Anyway, let's move on. In 1826, an American named Samuel Morey received the patent for the first known carburetor. Then sparks really began to fly as things heated up all over the world. Patent after patent was filed for various versions of the internal combustion engine that were being fired up. Names like Daimler-Benz and Diesel appeared on these patents as the first compressed charge, 4-stroke cycle engine, 1876, first reliable 2-stroke gas engine, 1879, and first compression ignition engine were invented, 1892. Scientific American reported in September 1860 that the Parisian newspaper Cosmos had pronounced the steam engine age over. Today, you can just read it on Twitter. The golden age of internal combustion had begun. The impact of the internal combustion engine was huge. It changed the world completely. It freed men from the hardest manual labor, made possible all forms of transportation, and revolutionized power generation. Within another 50 years, jet aircrafts were taking off and rockets launching. In fact, the inventor of the diesel engine, Rudolf Diesel, died in 1913, the same year the Ford Motor Company began developing the moving assembly line. Rudolf Diesel never lived to see how much his invention would impact the world. His death is mysterious. He was only 55 and on board a steamboat on his way to a meeting in London. After dinner, he went to his cabin. He has to be woken at 6:15 a.m. The next morning, the crew found his bed had never been slept in, and his watch was left in a spot where it could be seen from the bed. They found his hat and overcoat folded beneath the afterdeck railing. 10 days later, a Dutch boat found his floating corpse, identifying him by an ID card. Some people thought it was suicide. There were rumors that he was murdered because he refused to give German forces exclusive rights to his invention. World War I started the following year. His death was never solved. His invention continued to be developed in the 1920s and 30s in Germany, and diesel engines were used widely in commercial vehicles. But it didn't really take off in the passenger car until the development of turbocharged direct injection in the 1990s. This made cars with diesel engines more drivable. Higher efficiency and also the ability to use petroleum or biofuel made diesel cars more competitive to conventional gas motors. Governments have also started subsidizing diesel fuel to encourage people to switch to reduce overall emissions. In Europe, diesel cars slowly began to dominate the market. They were less popular in the US, where the price of gasoline was cheaper. Then cracks started to appear. The World Health Organization was concerned about fumes, and huge irregularities in emission reporting were exposed. So the world made a U-turn back to petrol cars. Now the best of both have finally been combined into a passenger car. The Mazda 3 has 3 modes of operation, which includes a conventional gasoline engine mode and an ultra-lean diesel mode. The results are impressive. The new Mazda 3 has excellent fuel economy, low NOx emission, and more power than the normal Mazda 3. This could well be the future forward for the internal combustion engine. We have more exciting car content coming very soon. So subscribe below and ring that bell to get notified of our next video.